All right, guys, Thursday, September 26th. Why is that important? Well, it's not. What is important, though, is B2B, bullish to bearish, bearish to bullish. That's what that stands for. We had several transition moments today. The news turned at one time, but I don't want to get into too much other than two things. Russell, it was strong and it got weak. It was strong after the open, not before the open. This Russell here on the right side, this guy right here, was a little bit strong at the top of their range when the NASDAQ, the ES, and the Dow, the other indexes, were weak. All of a sudden, the strong one got weak. The strong one got weak. The strong one got weak. And it really was able to accelerate the weaker ones to the downside, right? So this is what happens right there. Look at the center bottom of this chart. You could see it right there, get hit and have some really nice follow through all in there. All in there as I go back and forth, back and forth. Led by the strong one. Now you have to have compare contrast techniques and skill to know which one's strong. The Russell, look on the right side, gets weak right there. Gets weak right there. Now, does it make it super easy now just to sell the ES, sell the NASDAQ? Life is good. No, but it makes it easier. That's what you're trying to do. That's where trading becomes more about probabilities rather than randomness. If you're having trouble pulling the trigger, it's because there's too much randomness. You need some clarification, some probabilities, so when you're right, it doesn't feel like a good guess. So the Russell, the weak one, which would be skill to find out. I'm sorry, the strong one gets weak. Skill to find out it's a strong one, skill to know when it gets weak, skill to know what the hell to do with it. That should make sense as to what makes trading a little easier than it would if you didn't have that skill. Second thing, anybody out there in the world that says, the headlines don't matter, can't trade the numbers, people get it earlier, can't trade events, people sell it earlier, capital BS. Capital B, capital S. Huawei story came out, U.S. officials said they might not, it's unlikely that they extend the waivers that U.S. companies could use Huawei services, which is bearish, it's more trade war stuff. And rhetoric. And so it made us go from bullish, just keep an eye on this. We were bullish all the way into when this came out at 79 even. The market started walking up, higher lows, started to get strong, started to look to get back to the open. And then wham, look at the right side. They step on it to 75, then to 72. They come back to 75, 76, where people were able to get short. Yeah, some people got short better up in here, but this was a story that had teeth to it. And if you don't understand what stories have teeth, which stories could be pivotal, which stories could reprice a market, then you have no business trying to trade. You really don't. You might as well go and play pinochle at retirement homes. Although that's probably pretty tough games too to win at. But you have a better chance there than you do at trading if you don't understand how to anticipate what's driving the market, what a story could do, how it works, and you're stuck asking why all the time. Why'd this happen? Why'd that happen? Put yourself in a position to cover all these disadvantaged check marks that you have in your column. There's two columns in any business, in my opinion. There's a column that are advantages that you have, and there's a column of disadvantages. You need to know what the criteria over here is, and if you have a check mark here or here. And if you are trading and there's economic, geopolitical events is the category and you don't know much about it, put a giant check in the disadvantage column. Any business, you need to know this column, what makes it up, and you need to know if you have an advantage or disadvantage over those that you're competing with. In other business, it's other businesses that do what you do that you're competing against. In trading, it's other traders that you're competing against. Want to be smarter than them? Not necessarily smarter. I just want to be quicker. I want to be less dumb. And I don't want to be as dumb when it counts. That's the best way to put it. I don't want to be smarter than them. I just don't want to be as dumb as them. When they're down, I want to knock them out. Carlo's on Fox News or Fox Business Channel. Thanks, Diane. Keep an eye on that. For YouTube users, come to the trading room before we up the price, which is coming soon.